Because when you actually read the government's own files across both releases, decades of reporting and thousands of sightings, the thing that shows up again and again and again is almost embarrassingly simple. It's a ball of light or an orb. That's it. The most common, unidentified object reported by the most credible witnesses the United States has is not a flying disc, it's not a triangle or a sphere. Today, I want to show you why this boring little detail, at least when you sit with it, is one of the strangest things in the entire story, and why the government's own numbers about these orbs cut against the hype just as hard as they feed it. So let's start with the people whose jobs it is and what they actually say. The former director of the AARO, the Pentagon's UAP investigation office, has stated it plainly. The most common type of unidentified object being reported is a metallic-looking sphere. So now let's talk numbers, and this is where I have to slow down a bit because the numbers do cut both ways, and most channels are only going to show you one side of it. The AARO has said it receives somewhere between 50 and 100 UAP reports every single month. Now it sounds pretty large, but here's the figure that almost never makes the thumbnails. Of all the reports the office assess, only 2 to 5% are truly unexplainable. The overwhelming majority, let's say 90 to 95%, gets resolved, or at least could be resolved, as ordinary things. Aircraft, balloons, or sensor artifacts, even drones at times. Now, the former director was careful about even the small unexplained slice. He said that most of the cases that stay open not because they're miraculous, but because there isn't enough data to close them. A blurry report with no radar, no second sensor, and no range. Underexplained because of lack of documentation. Not unexplained because they are unexplainable. So here's the case. 2 federal law enforcement agents, trained observers, identified in the file only by codes to protect their own names, separately reported events where a glowing orange orb was seen at dusk hovering near a rock pinnacle. Now, eyewitnesses can be unreliable, and I always want to say that. I don't want to use eyewitnesses as defined fact.